So, if you met me 20 years ago, let's say 23 years old, I would have been an ultra liberal, extreme progressive, twinky, flamboyant, feminine little gay boy. And I would read tarot cards and practice witchcraft and get into astrology and aura photography and all sorts of arts like that. And then about 3 years ago, I don't really know what caused it, but I do know in my 28th year I noticed there was something changing. But without me even realizing it, when I turned 30, I turned into a ultra Catholic first, then American, and then any other part of myself. But for me, my desires, my attractions, did not really reflect on a building block of my character like it was in my 20s, where gay was really the first thing you heard from me. Where now it's Catholic or the Trinity or Mary or prayer or fasting or sacrifice or all these things other than me, other than selfish desires for my own benefit. I have become a much more other neighbor-oriented community person in the sense of I'm not going to get into it, but parties would happen and things would be collected and then things were given, and we're just going to leave it at that. But that part was done, the community aspect. My thoughts, my internal dialogue became more of a discussion about others than myself or my desires or my benefits. Now, in action, obviously I wasn't a completely holy and pious person overnight, and nor am I now. But without cause or without a firm purpose to make things change, I was blessed by God and the Blessed Mother and Michael, my angel, and Saint Joseph, my patron. I've been blessed by, and when I say my angel, he's my baptismal saint. And I've just been blessed. I don't know what the word is. I've just been blessed that my head is always above water, and that with all the suffering that I've received throughout my whole life, that it has merit and meaning in an invisible yet glorious way. I already know that when my final judgment comes at the end of the world and we're all raised from the dead and in front of God, in front of Christ, judged publicly, I know that God, Christ, will look at my suffering and the merit gained, as well as the graces earned through works of mercy, and that would blot out any sin or wrongdoing that I did that was grievous, that I knew was wrong, and that I chose to do of my own free will. And I know that I will be saved. I know the Blessed Mother will have my hand. I know St. Joseph and St. Michael will be by my side. And I know my final destination. Yet I will continue to live to earn more and more heavenly merit or glory. And with that said, I don't really know what the meaning is, because I didn't pray to become a conservative Catholic. I did ask to be in touch with my true faith, which is the true faith. And I came back home. I know all of my ancestors would be happy with that choice of coming back home into the church and practicing my faith every week, every holy day of obligation, go to vigil, say the rosary, read Holy Scripture, go to confession, all that stuff. I know my ancestors, I know my grandparents and their parents, and probably even further back, all would be very happy to know that most of my life is involved with my faith, whether it's personal, interiorly with my prayer life, day to day, or whether it's weekly in a community, or whether it's monthly or yearly, that the merits that we, or at least I, receive through offering up my sufferings, and the graces gained through works of mercy, that is my salvation. My suffering offered up to God for the love of God, for His worship, His glorification, is my salvation. And I ask anyone who even cares or considers to just, if you're suffering with something, even if you're not Christian, just think of your higher self, which I would say is Jesus Christ, and say it is for the love of you. Whether you're, whatever religion you are, if you offer up your suffering for the love and glorification of your Creator, I'm sure it will do nothing more other than give it more merit. And to this, I know this became a whole different video, but if you look at verse 10, after a first and second warning, break off contact with a heretic. In the original video was going to be how everyone that I associated with in my 20s when I was ultra gay and all that stuff, I have no contact with anymore because it's just heresy. It's that simple as it is. This scripture turned my life into what it is, and that is one that is driven from the world, the flesh, and the devil. And that is why when I'm at Tranquil Meadows, in the wilderness, basically, there's still people around, but there's a lot of solitude there most of the times. And that wilderness, that the nature, the creation of God really sews together the aspects of my prayer or internal life. And I wake up at a better time, I go to bed at a better time, I live healthier, I'm happier. My life is by far 10 times better at Tranquil Meadows on a bad day than just an average day here in Louisville. Especially with safety and all that. It's just, I feel safer in the wilderness. We don't have bears where I am, so I'm not worried about that. I have a crossbow, I have other stuff like bear spray and some knives and all that. And I hope that by the time I move down there completely, once my family has built the manor, that I hope my daily life, the rotation from daily to weekly to monthly to yearly, would be in sync, where I would wake up with the sun, go to bed with the sun, eat maybe 1 or 2 full meals per day, very simple meals, and then get exercise by walking and hiking around the property. And I hope if I do that every single day, longevity and grace will build throughout my life, just like my ancestors. One of my grandparents that lived the longest was always active. And I am a lot more active at Tranquil Meadows because I feel safer in the wilderness than just in the middle of the city. Like, there's certain parts of the city I feel fine in, but still, I'd rather be alone, especially in this day and age. And with that said, if you have someone in your life that is not of the true faith, and they do something to invite sin into your life, only give them 2 warnings, and then remove yourself completely from that whole community. Which is me talking to myself about the gay world. Anyways, yeah.